Since joining Agent Rainmaker, we have generated an additional income of £435,000. My name is Harriet Kirby. I'm from Richard James Lettings and Management. We are based in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire. My journey in estate agency started at the ripe old age of 17, and I ended up working for a lettings company as a tenancy manager. And I stayed with this company for 10 years. This is the company where I learned everything I know. However, I was there for minimum wage. And after 10 years, I thought, do you know what, Harriet, you can really do better than this. So I left, I handed in my notice, and I embarked on a mission to find a new job. I walked 3 doors down the road to an estate agent that at the time I knew were the best in the town, the best at what they did, and were a great company to work for. I also knew that they weren't doing lettings at the time, so I went in and I sat down at the director's desk and I asked him to give me a job. He said, "No, Harriet, we don't want to give you a job, but we'd like to bring you on board as a director." I just remember thinking, me, a director, this is madness. We very quickly established ourselves in the lettings market in Wellingborough. But what I was doing was just going through the motions, doing what I'd done for the last 10 years. Our new lettings department had adopted all of the same structure. It just wasn't working. But I didn't see that at the time. Everything in the business revolved around me. I was doing the gas checks, I was doing the viewings, I was doing the inspections, I was doing the inventories. I then had my first child. I have a picture of me in labour, sat there doing my payment run to make sure my landlords are happy and paid. That really should have been the wake-up call that I needed, but it wasn't. So 5 months after Freddie was born, I had no choice but to return to my office and carry on. My love, my passion, my enthusiasm, everything that I'd had for the industry had gone. So I then came across a video of Sally Lawson, and she was advertising a 1-day course for agents. Something like treble your turnover in 1 day. And I was like, who is this woman? What does she mean she's going to treble my turnover? Sally really opened my eyes on that 1 day. Part of the 1-day course was the opportunity to join the Agent Rainmaker growth program. The first part of the growth program was the legendary boot camp. And I remember driving up there, and then I sat in the car park for a good half an hour, 40 minutes before I plucked up the courage to go in. Not one part of me wanted to set foot in that hotel. The fear of the unknown, I didn't know what I was walking into. I sat at the back of the room. But I just remember this room just being full of these other amazing agents. I was completely blown away with the figures we were seeing. I mean, our figures on day 2 of boot camp were 3 times the money we were making just from making the small changes. I actually remember standing in the queue for the buffet at lunchtime talking to Dawn, who is my absolute idol. And I said to her, "Dawn, if this doesn't work for me, this is it. I'm done with the industry. I don't want to be a letting agent anymore. I'm not a very good director. It's time for me to tap out." She looked at me and she said, "It's okay if you fall. Just make sure that when you rise as the whole damn fire." Her words resonated with me because actually if there was a time for me to rise, it was now. I knew that I needed the support of the ARX community if I was going to do this. So I got back from boot camp, sat with my other co-directors and went over everything that we'd done at boot camp, outlined our business plans, how much money I thought we could make by making the small changes. Then I put to them that I would like to join ARX, and I was met with a firm no. I was gutted. They laughed at my projection figures. They laughed at my business plan. If I thought I was low before, my goodness me, but I still lacked the support and the guidance that I knew only ARX could give to me. And I knew the only way that I could get my co-directors on board was to somehow get them to see it for themselves. So I embarked on a mission to get them to Agent Rainmaker Live. I actually just dressed it up as a lettings conference. I didn't tell them all the details. And I remember walking in and it was like an Ibiza nightclub. I'm not an Ibiza nightclub kind of person. I'm not a singing and dancing and clapping at 9 o'clock in the morning kind of person. But the whole room was doing it. Even I was clapping and dancing a little bit. It's infectious, you can't help but join in. And then at lunchtime on day 2, my co-directors, who had also been singing and clapping and dancing along with everybody else, They handed me the form to fill in to join ARX. What this did for me was show me they had believed in me when they asked me to be a director. That was the turning point for me. Since then, the changes within myself, within my business, have been mind-blowing. Sally and the team made me realise that actually we're worth so much more than just our management fee. My fear was that all of my landlords would run away, but actually they didn't. Prior to Agent Rainmaker, I was very much stuck in a tenancy manager rut. That's all I was. I was a glorified tenancy manager. What nobody had taught me was how to be a director, how to be a business owner. That is how Agent Rainmaker has really turned my life around. They've taught me that organising a gas check is a waste of my time. I spend my time focusing on the stuff that I know is going to make the company money. We've made some changes, but there is still so much more that we can do. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination. Since joining Agent Rainmaker, we have generated an additional income of £435,000. Now more than ever, I understand Dawn's words to me at boot camp. It is okay if you fall. Just make sure that when you rise as the whole damn fire.